Hey everyone, it's Jake at Jake's Metal Chat. Hope you're all well and welcome to episode 17 of my Metal Vault. You know the drill. If you've been watching this series for a while, I will be exploring and showing you my favorite albums within heavy metal, thrash metal, death metal, black metal, doom metal, sludge metal, folk metal. You name it, all that excellent stuff, and sticking with the decades of the 80s and 90s. Future episodes, I will delve into the bands considered as a proto metal, proto doom metal from the 1970s, and then go into the early 2000s because there was a lot of great albums released around that time. And of course, in the 1970s, but till then, I'm going to stick with the 80s and 90s because there's so much more to cover. And the one for this evening, as it's a Saturday, because I do these every Tuesday and Saturday. Of course, happy Saturday to you all and cheers. Right, this album is from the year of 1991. The last album I covered, Forest of Equilibrium by Cathedral, also from the same year. So let's stick with that year for this episode with a band from Japan, forming in 1984. They were under another name from 1983 to 1984 before changing it to the name that we all know today, and you know who it is. So, before I chat more about this band, let's get them on here. This is Sabbat and their 1991 debut, Envenom, and what an album this is. Just intense black and thrash metal from the early 90s, and look at that. You can probably tell where, well, one of the guys got his stage get up idea from, you know. And before I chat more about this album itself, let's chat about the band. Of course, Sabbat formed in 1984, but before that, in 1983, they were under the name Evil. Did their first show in that same year, but in the summer of 1983, so in August. And then 1984, the summer of that year, changed it to the name we know now. And before someone starts commenting down there after watching this video or even during it, yes, I know they're playing Obscene Extreme in the Czech Republic. I really want to go. Primarily for them, but of course, remember at the top of my head, and I hope I remember this right, Autopsy's playing as well, and I need to see them again. So many more bands, and I'm going to check out later, but of course, Sabbat's on the bill. I'll be happy if they play just half of this album. Originally released on Evil Records, and then Entropy Productions released it in 1995, re-released it with not the original white silver cover art, which is basically this image right here, but this is in gold. So, and I think this was only a limited print of these, so you can't really get this anymore, I don't think. But the album itself, just solid stuff, you know. Also got more artwork there, as well as the main artwork there. Same band picture you see on the back. And of course, the lyrics and hellos and thank yous. And you can tell by listening to the music where they got their influences from. It's definitely Venom and some Bulldozer. Who else? Bathory, and maybe listening to this album, like getting into the songs. The song Evil Nations, it goes a bit punky after all, a bit punky hard. Like, well, this is just my opinion, so very punky hard rock style, but mixed really well with metal. Very Motorhead style there. Satan Bless You, the track how I found out about this band and this album. Um, just how it starts off with the guitars and the drums, and then all of a sudden the vocals kick in, and I was like, oh, okay. At first, vocals were just felt like the vocals were just going like all over the place, like you're just hearing it without putting earphones on, and then you play it again, it's like, yeah, it really works with the song, really works for the album. Devil Worship, much the same, but kicking back in with it. Death Temptation, really cool track, and then the slow one on here, that a more mid-paced one, King of Hell, really cool song. And because on this one you got the song Blackfire, which I think, if I look on their list of many things, I think it's on their Born by Evil Blood. Nope. I think you can get that. I think I've seen that as a patch actually, and I might actually have it. I could be wrong. No, Blackfire's not on that one. It might be on their demo, but either way, that's one of the many songs that they wrote. No, it's on their single on the name Sabbat with called Myon's Hill. Myon's Hill, and of course, the first track being Blackfire from June of 1985. Get he's on Gizel. I think that he just said his name on. He's the bassist and the vocalist. Been in the band since the beginning. And his brother Sam, with two M's, but his actual name I cannot pronounce, was obviously in the band as the drummer from 1985 till 1990, so he does not appear on this album. I think the member they got now, not even trying to say this name, joined the band in 1990 as drums and vocals, but was on this album but didn't do vocals. He didn't do vocals until Evoke, Disembody, Fetish, oh, yeah, Fetish, no, sorry, Fetish, Highness, I think I just said that one, The Dwelling, and Isam, Isama, my pronunciation skills not very good, but of course, anyone wants to start with some Sabbat, definitely go with their debut, or you might have started with their second album and then went back and realized this one was there, or you might have started like with what's out at the moment. I'm not sure they're doing anything brand new at the moment. I'm going to double check that. Are they? No, they did a split called Japanese Brazilian Temptations with Blasphemaniac. I believe I said that wrong, which actually came out on my birthday last year, so that's cool. Check that band out, because if anything like Sabbat here, Black and Thrash, definitely up my street then. And I do like that mix of Black and Thrash, and it works really well with this band and this album in general. And I'm like listening to it. Obviously, I got all these different influences from him, like obviously Venom being the biggest one, and then intensifying that with bands like maybe like the first Bathory album entitled Bathory, of course, and The Return and Under the Sign of the Black Mark, definitely like get a bit of that mixed into that. Like there's so many more bands and albums I can think of that I can hear on this particular one. In terms of bands influenced by these guys, one springs to mind, and I didn't get to see him last year because obviously I was going up to a festival that I was volunteering at, and I had to be there on the day this gig was happening. But Midnight, I can definitely hear it going back on what I've heard from Midnight, and I'm gonna listen to a lot more because as soon as I heard it, instantly hooked. I definitely got Sabbat mixed into that, as well as well, other bands similar to these guys, you know. And you know, there's so many bands that have mixed, you know, two genres of metal together. It's like you got heavy metal and doom metal mixed together, and that fits really well. Black and death metal, death thrash, death doom all go well together. And I think out of when I heard black and thrash metal, I think the first one I properly heard in terms of putting those two genres together was Sabbat, I think, for me. And hearing obviously track number two, going back to it, Satan Bless You, was was just, just stuck with me. That in the like the guitar starting off with that, like not so well, kind of a solo, but it's not really a solo. And it's just kicking in and punch you in the face. And this is something you can really sink your teeth into. It's just the because when I found out where these guys were from, I thought, because I love a lot of my favorite films are from Japan, a lot of the horror films, and you know, you can definitely put this music within like a horror film, be it a live action one or animated one. Put this music into that, it's just you know, it works for like I think for me, if you just watch the horror film without any sound on it and you put this over it, it'll probably just make it much more scarier. But it's like you're enjoying one of your favorite albums and getting scared by one of your favorite films, and like the horror films, very effective metal right here. All the albums that I have shown so far, very effective in terms of what style they put into it, how they do what kind of solos they're doing, the style of vocals, the drumming, the bass lines, bass licks, everything like that. And for this, it's just in your face, just pure black and thrash metal. And like I said, if I can get that chance to see him live at Obscene Extreme, because I haven't been there since 2017, I'll do it. I'll go see these guys, and I will get to the front. I'll get battered by a lot of people in the mosh pit because it's one of those bands that even if you're at home listening to them on CD or vinyl or cassette, you can just feel yourself getting ready to headbang and just yeah, house party, and you got this album or their later albums on. You're just like, yeah, some really intense, extreme metal right here. And if I'm gonna pick my favorite songs, I'm gonna say the band name again, the song name again, Satan Bless You, and of course Evil Nations, because of that sort of punky hard rock sort of feeling a bit in the chorus bit where they say the song title as well. 16 Candles, I believe, is a instrumental. Yep, 16 Candles. Not the 16 Candles. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. The sixth candle, Bewitch is also instrumental, but how they did it on here, obviously, because mine's the re-release, put Bewitch obviously still at the start, and then it goes straight into track number two, and then after the sixth candle, it goes into the song Karka's Voice. Death March, pretty much the same as I'm looking on here. And obviously between Death March, no, Dead March, sorry, Dead March and um Reminiscent Bells. If I said that, I hope I said the first name right. Between that is obviously the bonus track of Black Fire. And I found footage of him in 1986, and I'm looking at it now. Just type Sabbat Blackfire live 1986, or just Sabbat Blackfire, and you can see him just playing to a bunch of just everyday people, like those who are not into metal music. You can just point them, like they stuck out like sore thumbs, like how they were on stage, and all of them were like dressing like fancy, clean clothes, like those bright white shirts and things, and they're on stage wearing black t-shirts and playing some, playing some fucking heavy metal, and it's just really it's just really cool. It's like playing some extreme metal, first wave of black metal, thrash metal, but obviously, again, black thrash metal at its absolute finest here. I'm going to say that about a lot of bands on this list because obviously everything I talk about I love, but like obviously mentioning like when I first say like okay, then like with the vocals on track number two, it's like okay, what's going on here? But I'm like more heard it, the more I was like, yeah, this is really cool. So all your veterans are like, I know this band, I know, and you've said this in the last ones that if you said it, it's like, yeah, yeah, I know this band, but brand new metalheads, there's always brand new metalheads out there that might just want to listen to bands like Iron Maiden, bands like Sodom, bands like Bolt Thrower. So some that just want to listen to heavy metal, some that just want to listen to thrash metal, some that want to listen to just death metal, black metal, so on and so forth. But if you want to, but those are like, I like black metal and I also like thrash metal. Is there something in between? Well, there's so many more bands I can talk about, but definitely these guys right here, and definitely check out this album. It's I think got overlooked. Like I've mentioned this before about some albums. I think this got overlooked because of how many other albums were coming out at the time this was being released in '91. So there's probably a lot of you like really into your underground metal that would like, yep, remember seeing this and picked it up. But obviously, might have been really hard to find unless you were really lucky and found it in a record shop that you go to, or um at a car boot sale because someone was selling their metal collection, or you found it at a festival, and you know who knows, they might even a, have this on vinyl at Obscene Extreme, but I won't trust myself to pick one up there because it will get just killed in my tent, if not that, in my luggage. But CDs and the great case cracks, because obviously I can't remember where I got this one, but it's a little bit cracked there. But adds to the whole aesthetic of being an album from the 90s. But in terms of that, excellent stuff here. Awesome black thrash metal, awesome band. Another timeless masterpiece here. So once again, people, to all you new metalheads out there, Sabbat and Envenom. Another episode of My Metal Vault done. I have a lot more just looking at the list now. So episodes 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. 21 and 22 being in the next month of February. Because I got at least 3 more this month to do. And a lot more to do here. So just going through my notes, a heck of a lot more throughout February and also March, and haven't even gotten to April yet, but there's so much more to do. Of course, my favorite death metal albums on Wednesday, but obviously I'm going to be going out that evening, so I may actually do the video on Tuesday when I've done my other episode of my Metal Vault, and obviously upload my Metal Vault video on the day I recorded it, but with my favorite death metal albums, I will record it on that day and schedule it for the Wednesday. And I'm still thinking of something to fill in on Thursday, so I feel like I should fill in something on Thursday, or just do Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays for videos. And of course, the chats, that can be any day of the week. The collection updates any day of the week. We'll see in the next collection update will be at the end of this month, so probably try and either the 28th or the 29th, or even the 30th of January, I will get it out. Or a little bit earlier in those days, I just said. So anyway, thank you for tuning into my Metal Vault. I have been Jake of Jake's Metal Chat. Thank you very much for the constant support that you have given my channel. To all the new subscribers, thank you very much. For anyone brand new, don't forget to like this video, share it around, comment down below if you have anything to comment, and most importantly, do subscribe to keep up to date with all of this series, my favorite death metal albums, upcoming chats, collection updates, you name it, is on here. So thank you very much. Once again, been Jake of Jake's Metal Chat. Keep that banner of metal held high, and I'll see you all again in another episode of my Metal Vault.